In a city where everything felt bigger than life, one little mouse proved that heart mattered more than size. Stuart Little wasn't just one of the most powerful adventure stories, it was a real-life experience about acceptance, family, and finally finding where you belong. But after the story ended, what happened to the family behind the magic? Michael J. Fox lends his voice to Stuart Little, 38 years old, and turning a tiny mouse into one of the most emotionally sincere family heroes of the late 90s. Adopted into a human family that struggled to fully accept him, Stuart faced ridicule, loneliness, and danger, with quiet courage instead of anger. Michael J. Fox gave the character warmth that felt deeply human, making every race, setback, and small victory feel personal. Beneath Stuart's polite charm was a longing to belong, and that emotional honesty became the heart of the entire film. At 64, Michael J. Fox remains beloved for playing Marty McFly in the Back to the Future films, Alex P. Keaton in Family Ties 1982, and Scott Howard in Teen Wolf 1985. After revealing his Parkinson's disease diagnosis, he transformed personal suffering into worldwide advocacy, inspiring millions as an actor, author, activist, film producer, comedian, and voice artist. Married for 38 years with 4 children, Fox became proof that real strength is measured by perseverance, not perfection. Jonathan Lipnicki brings heart to George Little, just 9 years old and playing a lonely boy who never expected a tiny mouse to change his life forever. At first, George resisted Stuart's arrival, struggling with jealousy, confusion, and the fear of being replaced inside his own family. But as danger closed in and Stuart continued risking himself for others, George slowly learned that brotherhood had nothing to do with appearance. Lipnicki gave the role vulnerability that felt genuine, turning George's emotional growth into one of the film's most relatable journeys. Now 35, Jonathan Lipnicki is remembered for childhood roles as Ray Boyd in Jerry Maguire, 1996, Tony Thompson in The Little Vampire, 2000, and Murph in Like Mike, 2002. Behind the fame, he openly admitted struggling with anxiety, harsh public criticism, and the pressure of growing up in Hollywood after childhood stardom faded. Rather than collapse under it, Lipnicki rebuilt himself quietly through independent films, martial arts training, and personal discipline, showing that surviving fame can sometimes require more courage than achieving it. Geena Davis brings grace to Mrs. Eleanor Little, 43 years old and portraying the loving mother who opened her heart to a child the world considered impossible. Eleanor never treated Stuart like a curiosity. She treated him like family from the very beginning. While others questioned whether a mouse belonged in a human home, she protected him with patience, warmth, and unwavering belief. Davis gave the character emotional intelligence that grounded the fantasy, reminding audiences that acceptance often begins with one person choosing compassion over fear. At age 70, Geena Davis remains celebrated for Thelma and Louise, 1991, Dottie Hinson in A League of Their Own, 1992, and Barbara Maitland in Beetlejuice, 1988. Beyond acting, she became a major advocate for gender equality in entertainment, after recognizing how rarely women were represented fairly on screen, through public speaking, research activism, and personal resilience. Following divorces and industry setbacks, Davis turned her legacy into something larger than fame, using her voice to challenge an entire system, while raising 3 children and continuing to inspire new generations. Hugh Laurie grounds the role of Mr. Frederick Little, 40 years old, and playing the intelligent but emotionally cautious father, trying to hold his unusual family together. Frederick wanted harmony inside the house, yet even he struggled to understand how a tiny mouse could truly fit into their human world. Beneath his calm manners was a man learning that fatherhood is not about control or logic. It is about trust, patience, and standing beside the people who need you most. Laurie gave Frederick quiet humanity, turning an ordinary father into someone audiences genuinely believed. Currently at 66, Hugh Laurie became internationally iconic as Dr. Gregory House in House MD, while also starring in Blackadder 1983, Tomorrowland 2015, and The Night Manager 2016. Behind the success, Laurie openly battled severe depression during the height of his fame, admitting that achievement did not automatically bring peace. Married for 37 years with 3 children, he built a career respected not only for brilliance and wit, but for emotional honesty beneath the performance. Nathan Lane steals scenes as Snowbell, 43 years old, and voicing the pampered house cat, whose comfortable life completely unraveled after Stuart entered the household. Bitter, dramatic, and terrified of losing his place in the family, Snowbell spent much of the story fighting jealousy and fear behind layers of sarcasm. Yet underneath the selfishness was an animal desperate to matter. Lane's performance gave Snowbell frustration, insecurity, and unexpected vulnerability, transforming him from comic relief into a character audiences slowly understood, proving that even stubborn hearts can soften once fear stops controlling them. Now at 70, Nathan Lane remains one of entertainment's most respected performers. As Albert Goldman in The Birdcage 1996, Timon in The Lion King 1994, Ernie Smuts in Mouse Hunt 1997, eventually winning 3 Tony Awards, 7 Drama Desk Awards, 3 Emmy Awards, and a Screen Actors Guild Actor Award. Long before Hollywood became more accepting, Lane endured years of insecurity and industry pressure while hiding parts of himself to survive professionally. Through persistence, Broadway success, and emotional openness later in life, he transformed decades of fear into confidence, ultimately becoming one of the most admired comedic and theatrical voices of his generation. Steve Zahn adds reckless energy to Monty, 32 years old and playing the streetwise alley cat who lived fast, talked big, and treated loyalty like a weakness. Unlike Snowbell's sheltered life indoors, Monty survived through manipulation, intimidation, and staying close to danger. He pushed Snowbell deeper into trouble while helping lead the hunt for Stuart, seeing the little mouse as an easy target in a world built on fear and survival. Zahn gave Monty swagger mixed with desperation, making him feel less like a cartoon villain and more like someone hardened by the streets around him. Today, at 58, Steve Zahn built a respected career through Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2010, Daddy Daycare 2003, Anaconda 2025, and War of the Planet of the Apes 2017. Despite years of strong performances, Zahn often remained underrated beside bigger Hollywood names, quietly earning admiration for emotionally honest characters instead of chasing celebrity status. Married for over 30 years with 2 children, he balanced acting with family life on a Kentucky farm, building a career shaped more by authenticity than fame. Chazz Palminteri commands attention as Smokey, 47 years old and voicing the feared alley cat leader who ruled through intimidation and control. Smokey saw Stuart's adoption into a human family as an insult to the natural order, believing a mouse living safely among people humiliated every cat in the city. Cold, calculating, and dangerously prideful, he launched a relentless hunt to erase Stuart completely. Palminteri gave Smokey a threatening edge that felt grounded and believable, turning the character into more than a simple villain. He became the voice of bitterness, pride, and fear of change. Now 74, Chazz Palminteri remains celebrated for A Bronx Tale 1993, The Usual Suspects 1995, and Bullets Over Broadway 1994. Before success, Palminteri witnessed violence growing up in the Bronx and narrowly avoided being pulled into organized crime himself. Instead, he transformed painful experiences into storytelling, creating unforgettable characters shaped by loyalty, fear, and survival. Married for over 30 years with 2 children, he turned hardship into one of Hollywood's most respected late-blooming careers. Jeffrey Jones leaves an uneasy impression as Uncle Crenshaw Little, 53 years old, and portraying the wealthy relative whose cold skepticism made Stuart feel unwanted from the moment they met. Crenshaw valued appearances, tradition, and status, quietly viewing the adopted mouse as an embarrassment to the Little family name. His judgmental attitude reflected the kind of rejection Stuart faced throughout the world outside his home. Jones played the role with stiff arrogance that made the character frustratingly believable, reminding audiences how damaging quiet cruelty can feel when disguised as common sense. Now, 79. Jeffrey Jones became widely recognized through Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986, Beetlejuice, 1988, and Howard the Duck, 1986. His career later became overshadowed by legal scandals that permanently damaged his reputation and drastically reduced his Hollywood presence. Once considered one of cinema's most distinctive character actors, Jones became an example of how personal decisions off-screen can completely alter public legacy, regardless of talent or success. Julia Sweeney stepped into the role of Mrs. Keeper, the gentle orphanage caretaker who introduced Stuart to the Little family. At 40 years old, she gave the character warmth, patience, and a calming presence that quietly shaped the entire story. Mrs. Keeper treated every child with kindness, making Stuart feel valued before he ever found a home. Though her role was brief, she represented compassion at the beginning of Stuart's journey, reminding audiences how one caring person can completely change someone's future. At age 66, Julia Sweeney is best remembered for her years on Saturday Night Live and films like Pulp Fiction, 1994, Beethoven's Third, 2000, and Monsters, Inc. 2, 2013. Beyond comedy, she openly shared painful personal struggles, including surviving cervical cancer and coping with the heartbreaking loss of her brother to lymphoma. Married once before divorcing, she later rebuilt her life through writing, theater, and deeply personal storytelling. That earned admiration far beyond comedy alone. Jennifer Tilly and Bruno Kirby step into the story as Mrs. Camille Stout and Reginald Stout, 41 and 50 years old respectively, presenting themselves as Stuart's long-lost biological parents, with polished charm and comforting warmth. Camille spoke with soft reassurance, while Reginald carried the calm authority of a dependable father figure, making their arrival feel almost too perfect to question. But beneath the kindness sat manipulation and selfish intent, as the pair willingly helped tear Stuart away from the only family that truly loved him. Their deception became one of the film's strongest lessons. Not everyone offering comfort deserves trust. Now 67, Jennifer Tilly became iconic through Bride of Chuck, 1998, and Bullets Over Broadway, 1994, later surviving heartbreaking loss after longtime partner died from cancer. Bruno Kirby, beloved for When Harry Met Sally, 1989, and The Godfather Part 2, 1974, sadly died from leukemia in 2006 at age 57, leaving behind a respected career and his wife of 20 years. And with that, the story of Stuart Little Cast Then and Now 2026 comes to a close. A film that reminded millions of kids that being different was never something to hide, but something to embrace. If this classic film was part of your childhood, tell us your favorite memory from the Littles in the comments below. Until the next family fantasy adventure, move with courage, stand with kindness, and always believe you belong.